Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Aquarius for the month of March, including the end of February. So the element is water. We're in the zodiac sign of Pisces. So we're on about emotions this month, Aquarius. So let's see, you're in your second house. So the second house governs stability, finances, and what you value in life. So let's see. We have the Emperor. So the Emperor is all about control, is all about being the top of his game. It's all about, you know, strategy, getting to the top, Aquarius, getting to the top, being the best you can be. Very much a male influence card, obviously, but that still resonates for everybody. He is about how you get there, discipline. And funnily enough, you are in the finances and the stability and your values. So it's about this theme this month is all about sort of sorting all that stuff out. Now you've had your birthday last month, now we're back into the work. Okay, let's see where you are right now. The Lovers, relationships, you value them. Big decisions to be made with this one, Aquarius. There's no skiving off with this one. It's right where you are at the moment. So do you have to make a decision about this relationship? And we are in Pisces, and that is all about emotions. So that is going to be front and centre this 4 weeks for you, and making that decision. Okay, let's see what's influenced that. So it's a major card, so it's a major thing. It's a happening thing. What has influenced this to happen, and in turn it will influence the whole reading. Another major card, the Sun. So the Sun is really going to illuminate everything in your relationships and this big male sort of figure, or where this relationship's going. So it's really going to be under the microscope, if you like, this month, Aquarius. So there you have it. Is it worth it or not? That's the big question. So it will come in fast and hard there, but that's okay. This is what we have to do. Let's just have a look at the background and see what was happening in your birthday time. So January, February. Yeah, and a bit of jealousy there and deceit. And it's not necessarily people that really mean to be jealous or they mean to be deceitful, but they have been deceitful. Or maybe you have felt that energy coming from these people, or maybe you're doubting yourself. So it was, and it's an Aquarian card actually, Aquarius. So, you know, it was a bit of a tumultuous month, I think, even for you guys in your sign. But that was the sort of energy around, and it's sort of a bit uncomfortable anyway. But as we can see now, we've led up to this, so this is why this is happening now. So let's just move on and see what the recent influences of this situation are. The spiritual learning card, very interesting. 3 of Coins. So it's about working with others, especially in relationships. That's still work, isn't it? So very much about working well with others, you know, moving in, doing a new job perhaps, and learning to work with new people. And you can do that, Aquarius, because you're all about the group. You are the group people. So very much spiritual learning. Who is the teacher? Who's the student? Ask yourself that question in terms of where you are, because that's also going to be sort of in the mix this 4 weeks. Okay, so let's see the lesson you'll be learning. And we have the Queen of Swords, and she is your queen, the air queen. She comes with her big sword. She cuts through all the crap, if you like. This is what these Queen of Swords do. They are very much, they have clarity of thought. So they just decide, okay, chop that one, chop this one, let's get rid of that, and let's just move on. Because their thought process post-birthday month is quite clear, and it's about what needs to happen. Clarity. Whether we like it or not, it's there. So you do have that, Aquarius. Okay, let's move into near future. So then we'll be that'll be the next week. So the first week of March, and I think the new moon is actually on the 2nd or 3rd, the 3rd of March. So that with it brings, we have to sort of backtrack to last August, September, and kind of remember what was happening then, because now this is the product of that, if you get my drift. So let's see what it is. New beginnings. Very much new beginnings for you in all sorts of ways, Aquarius, which is good, because this whole spread so far makes sense. Well, it makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. So new job, new everything, new face. And plus it is, you know, your birthday month, and number 1 is you in the spotlight, and that's when you sort of go, okay, this is what I'm going to do with this year. This is my new face. And we have the Fool, which is the beginning of a journey. And who knows where it's going to end up, but it's going to be good because you're ready for it. Let's see what is happening that you're not realizing. Don't give your personal power away, especially with this new journeys coming up. It's about time to go, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to give myself over to saying yes just because it's easier for everyone else. I'm going to say no when I mean no. I'm going to keep my personal power. Thank you very much. I've worked too hard, and that's what I have to do from now on in. How others see you. Yes, very balanced, giving and taking in equal measure. And is that not the Aquarius and the group theme that's part of who you are? So very much seen as that giver, maybe giving too much. And is the other person giving you what you're giving? Is it equal? You have to ask yourself that, Aquarius, because that's how they see you. So I feel it's a wonderful card to be seen as, but then again, in context of the reading, you have to sort of work that out for yourself, where you sit with that. Okay, so let's see what you're feeling positive about. Yes, it's hard to let go, Aquarius, really hard, especially with this card. It's an old past lifey card, so it's about soul connections. And sometimes, you know, we often know that with soul connection, sometimes we just have to let go and see what happens. Because hanging on is just too hard. It takes too much energy. You might love them to death, but the situation's like it's just not adding up. There's no synchronicity. It's like, okay, just let it go and see what happens. But if you keep hanging on to it, nothing's going to happen or change. So there you go. It is a bit of a difficult one, but then you've got these big Lovers card decisions to make. It's quite a challenging month, really, Aquarius, but it's all about your values and your stability too. You've got to sort of factor all that in at this time, and you will come through. Let's have a look at the outcome. And then we have the King of Swords. In he comes. Clarity again, but the Mr. of the Mr. and Mrs. He's very much, but this one's a bit different. Whereas the Queen of Swords, she will use that sword. And she's very much into battle. But this king here, he's got all this armour on, so he's sort of saying one thing and doing another, but what he really feels emotionally is quite different to what he's saying, if you get my drift. So that's why this is difficult, because you guys, you just know these things, and then, you know, this person, and it is in a relationship, is sort of saying this, wants this and the other. However, it's not really what happens, what he's feeling. He's like the lawyer, if you like, you know. We know the lawyers, they can say anything and use words to really get what they want. However, is that what they really feel, or that's just their job? So think about that. Very much so, Aquarius. Now, I think there's nothing else to say. There's no clarification needed. It will be a challenging month, but I think at the end of it you will get clarity, and that's what this one's saying, and you will be good. Okay, let's see what your message is. Oh, it's a good one. Dharma. Dharma can only be learnt by direct experience. It educates the heart and liberates the mind. Dharma, or divine wisdom, is a heart and mind system of learning. With your heart open, you can be aware of the universal truths amidst your struggle and suffering. It gives you the power to turn experiences around, knowing that there is a purpose to your life that is gently unfolding. I rest my case. Direct experience, and you've had it, and you have it. So that's a really nice card to finish for this next 4 weeks. Have a great time, be positive, and thank you very much for listening as usual.